So today I am putting in, or should I say tonight, this is a 15.5 volt lithium battery going into this 2022 Tesla Model 3. So it's located up front underneath your around your wiper area. You simply need to remove the old battery, which I've already done. And so right now I'm showing you how to put it back in. It lines up. You have a couple of nipples right here that line up and go into place. You have to also take the top clamp off prior. It's really pretty straightforward. I believe the bolts that hold the battery in are going to be 8mm, I believe. Can't remember exactly, but either 7 or 8. Probably going to be an 8. But yeah, once you get that out, no issues. Right now, putting it back in. Just, if you can get it in, you can get it out, right? So here we go. I'm going to put it in. As you see, you line everything back up. It falls right down into there. There's a couple clamps that hold that cover part on. Pretty basic to remove. So, once you get that off, no problem. Now, the reason I'm doing this is he has a charging issue going on with the Tesla. It's very odd. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Now, that being said, I have another video out that explains how to enter service mode on these vehicles. You guys check that out. It's pretty interesting. So right here, I'm just putting back in the bolts. Took the battery out. This is the order you must do it in. It actually says it in the owner's manual or guide if you can get a hold of it. It's pretty helpful stuff. So essentially, you just want to get these bolts back in here. Doing it using my hand to gently line them back up. Now, the one that holds the positive clamp to the terminal down, it's a little different on these Teslas. There is no like positive, negative like a normal 12-volt battery. You got your negative is that clamp right there, right? Then you got your positive over there to the far left. That you have two different spots. It's hard to figure out which one it goes back into, but I actually put in the wrong one, I think, at first when I moved it over. So I realized what I did. Pretty basic stuff. You just slip that clamp back on. This would be your jump start clamp. If you need to do it, you just stick it right on back in there. Once I get the camera lined up better, in 1 second I'll show you exactly what to do. I'm just putting back on that positive lead right now. I'm going to snug it up. Now, pay attention closely here. Hopefully I didn't get the wrong location on the first one. I think I did. But if I did, you can see how I pull it back off and move it over. But yeah, I'm just snugging up the bolts on this side. Go ahead and snug up all those. Once you get the battery secure, then you can go ahead and tighten up the positive lead. Now, key point, you want to make sure you have your negative battery terminal off of there. While you're doing this, also there's another connector right there. You see one there? It's called a loop. It's called like a battery connector loop. I believe is what it's called exactly. Anyway, you want to keep this off, so you actually unhook that first before you unhook anything on the battery. When you're removing it, when putting it back, you're going to hook that back on last. Okay. That way you get everything hooked back and get it back right. So right here's my positive lead, as you can see. Got to line that up. Right there is the negative. And that's where you would like jump it at or whatnot. Yeah, this goes into, it's going to be, I think it's far over here. It's not the one that secures the battery. It's an extra one. That's what that goes into. Shouldn't be much of a problem. I can't remember if I get it right. Let's see if I get it right on this video. But regardless, just remember, if it's not right, you should pull it back off and slide it over to the correct one. So, right there's your negative terminal. That was what the computer kept telling us we were having trouble with. That charging cable wasn't connected, but it was. So clearly, that lithium battery had just taken a game over for that battery. I have a feeling what was happening. But it was crazy because it was testing proper voltage with my probe. But I checked everything. I don't know if this was the wrong course. Maybe they had some type of shutdown mode on. I don't know. All I know is that I tested everything and it should have had power. Yep, so I put it on the wrong one and I slid it over. So this goes over here further to the left right there. I think you see what I'm doing. move it further over, and then secure it over there with the shorter one of the bolts. You have, I think, 5%. So pull that down and make sure you use the shorter one to secure that. The other ones are all the same size. They're the ones that actually hold the battery in, so just keep that in mind. Snug that up. Trickiest part is just trying to get that clamp off on the top of the battery. You got to make sure you be careful with it, don't mess the pins up. Each pin has to come out slightly differently. I mean, you have to pull that tab back and push them. So basically, you pull back on it, you slide back that black part and slip it in. Right here is this loop. It's called like a power system loop, I think is what Tesla calls it. This is what actually goes. You have to unplug first to make the car power down all the way. If not, you'll still have continuous power running from the rear battery. Make sure you get that unplugged. See right here, these go together. I'm going to plug these back up now. Yeah, so you actually plug this back in prior to doing the ground terminal. That's exactly what you have to do. You're hooking it back up. I was following the notes from the actual owner's manual. I was able to find locate. But yeah, after that, you just secure this down. You press down on it. There's a little sliding tab. You push that inward. So you pull it away from you, take it off, and you slide it inward to put it back on. And you push down that little green tab afterwards to secure it to the battery. She's got a diagram right on there for you to follow, and that's all that's back on and secured. First, you need to let it set for about 2-3 minutes. It says with the dome light on and your foot on the brake. So I have the customer right now with the dome light on and foot on the brake, even though the lights aren't on. Yeah, and also keep in mind that we'll lock these doors in, lock you in the vehicle. So careful doing this. You can't get out. So I would recommend you can always use the handle on the door to open it, but there is no power locking. And I don't know like if you can even get out without the windows down. So just be careful. I would leave the doors open while you're doing this. Just a heads up. Don't want to get locked in or whatnot. But yeah, you may have to go through the battery reset procedure too. I'm going to show that in a moment, along with the service mode. But here, going over all my connections and how everything is right here for the setup. That's nice and secure now. No, it's not actually. To show you right now how we tighten this down. Nice and easy. After you wait a couple minutes, after plugging in that battery in the rear, you slip that onto there. And what you do is you're going to push down tight and slide forward, and then flat push down. So you slide the black forward, click it in, push down the green clip. Boom, done. Just like that. Pretty easy stuff. Yeah, so right now you should be ready to rock. Right here's your cover to it. So it's in the frunk. It's called the frunk, F-R-U-N-K, because it's the front trunk, right? Makes sense. And so once you get all that hooked up, we're going to go inside, and you should be able to fire right up. Yeah, like I said, on this car, we were having another issue. So didn't quite work out that way. But yeah, you could hold down the 2 scroll buttons with your foot on the brake. This is going to do your reset. It's going to power down the vehicle for about, I think it's 15 seconds. You hold those scroll buttons until everything powers down and reboots. And then you should be able to fire up the car. You see, as we were right now in service mode, we're having another issue, and I'm trying to sit here and diagnose this late at night, trying to figure out what's going on with this Tesla. It won't go in the park, drive, anything. Won't even, I mean, we'll go in the park, so it won't go in the drive, reverse, nothing. It won't drive. But showing you can get the service mode to see all your diagnostic trouble codes. Everything you need to see is on here. But there is a battery learn mode. It takes 90 minutes. We can go ahead. If it's not starting after you do it, you can go in and you can relearn this battery. Now to get in the service mode, it's SERVICE is your input. That'll get you in there, and you just go through the settings and go ahead and do your battery reset or relearn. That should get you all situated. And like I said, there we go. We're completing it. You got to hold the blinker down, foot on the brake, I think, for 15 seconds to actually get this to work. And once it works, then it's going to tell you got to wait 90 minutes. Then it should work, hopefully. There you go. That's the countdown. And make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell. Best of luck. Sorry, not the best video. I pulled up this from one of my streams. So if you want to see it live, you can check out the live stream, and make sure like and subscribe if you have not. If you want to see more 100% live streams auto repairs. Peace.